The Earth moved. It moved violently. On March 28, 2025, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake ripped through the heart of Southeast Asia, its epicenter near Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city. This wasn't just a tremor, it was a statement of nature's raw power. The initial shock was just the beginning. A 6.4 magnitude aftershock followed, toppling structures already weakened and sending fresh waves of terror through the region. The shallow depth of the earthquake, a mere 10 kilometers below the surface, amplified its destructive force. The world watched in horror as images of devastation emerged. Dust-filled air, the cries of survivors, and the grim search for those trapped beneath the rubble became the defining images of this tragedy. Myanmar, still grappling with internal strife, found itself facing a disaster of unimaginable proportions. Across the border, Thailand, a beacon of tourism and economic progress, reeled from the impact, the bustling metropolis of Bangkok now scarred by a fallen skyscraper. Myanmar's military government declared a state of emergency in 6 regions and states, including the capital Naypyidaw and the earthquake's epicenter, Mandalay. The once vibrant city of Mandalay was now a landscape of shattered concrete and twisted metal. Iconic structures, including parts of the former royal palace, lay in ruins. The earthquake's brutal touch extended beyond Mandalay. A 90-year-old bridge, a lifeline for communities in the Sagaing region, crumbled, severing vital transportation routes. Sections of the Mandalay-Yangon highway, the artery connecting 2 of the nation's most important cities, were rendered impassable. In Naypyidaw, religious shrines, symbols of faith and cultural heritage, bore the scars of the earthquake. Homes were reduced to rubble, leaving families with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Yangon, though farther from the epicenter, didn't escape unscathed. The tremors sent residents fleeing into the streets, fear etched on their faces as they sought safety. The earthquake's impact on Myanmar was immediate and devastating. Downed power lines hampered communication and rescue efforts. The Red Cross, at the forefront of providing aid, reported extensive damage while struggling to assess the full scope of the humanitarian crisis. Thailand, known for its resilience and spirit, faced its own nightmare. The bustling Chatuchak market area of Bangkok became a scene of chaos and despair when a high-rise building, still under construction, buckled and collapsed. The dust had barely settled before rescue workers, their faces grim but determined, began the dangerous task of searching for survivors. They pulled 7 souls from the wreckage, clinging to life but bearing the physical and emotional scars of their ordeal. 3 lives were lost in the collapse, a stark reminder of the earthquake's deadly power. The fate of 90 others remained unknown, their families clinging to hope as each hour passed. The unstable rubble posed a constant threat to rescue workers, forcing them to move cautiously, their every step a calculation of risk versus reward. The collapse of the high-rise was a tragedy, but the earthquake's impact on Thailand extended far beyond that one building. Across Bangkok, people evacuated buildings, their trust in once solid structures shaken. The city, normally a symphony of life and activity, fell silent, its streets eerily empty. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, his face etched with concern, called an emergency meeting, the weight of the disaster heavy on his shoulders. Public transport, the lifeblood of the city, was shut down, bringing Bangkok to a standstill. The government declared a disaster area, a necessary step to expedite aid and resources to those who needed it most. The hours after the earthquake were a blur of activity. Rescue workers, both local and international, toiled tirelessly, their determination fueled by a mix of adrenaline and compassion. Sniffer dogs, trained to detect the faintest scent of life, navigated treacherous piles of rubble, their every bark a beacon of hope. Time, always precious, became the enemy as the window for finding survivors narrowed with each passing moment. The international community, witnessing the scale of the disaster, responded with an outpouring of support. India, France, and the European Union offered assistance, pledging manpower, expertise, and resources. The road to recovery promised to be long and arduous. Rebuilding shattered infrastructure, providing shelter and medical care to those in need, and addressing the psychological trauma inflicted by the disaster would require a sustained and coordinated effort. The earthquake had left an indelible mark on Southeast Asia, a stark reminder of nature's power and the fragility of human existence. The challenges were immense, but so too was the spirit of resilience. As the dust settled, the people of Myanmar and Thailand, though wounded, began the long and arduous task of rebuilding their lives and their communities. The world watched, hoping against hope that amidst the rubble, the spirit of humanity would emerge stronger than ever.